All right. Good morning. With us this morning, we have Jeff Russell, who is the president and CEO of Delta Dental of Iowa, and also Terry Rich, who's the 2014 Healthy Estate Initiative 1K Walk Chair. And we also have Rick Jergens, who chairs the overall Healthy Estate Initiative. So we have the first team here this morning. On Wednesday, October 8th, I want to invite all Iowans to join us with the Healthy Estate Initiative 1K Walk. There will be walks taking place at many locations all across the state. The annual walk started in 2011 with the Start Somewhere Walk, and we are proud to say that our fourth year will be the biggest walk yet. At least that's what I'm predicting. The walk supports the efforts of the Healthy Estate Initiative to increase the overall health of all Iowans. The most recent Gallup Healthways Wellbeing Index indicates our efforts are indeed working. When we started, the state of Iowa ranked 19th in this Gallup Healthways rankings. Today, we're 10th in the nation. And when it comes to physically, emotionally, and mentally healthy citizens, Iowans are eating better. Iowans are smoking less. Iowans are exercising more. The public sector is joining with the private sector, and I see our Director of the Department of Public Health is here as well, Garrett Claybaugh. And we are encouraging Iowans to make healthy choices and to think about this every day and work on it in their own lives. We are proud of the progress that's been made in our state towards our goal of becoming the healthiest state in the nation. Let's keep the momentum going. Small steps like this 1K walk are making a huge difference all across our state. We encourage Iowans to join us on October 8th. And now I want to turn it over to the Lieutenant Governor for her remarks.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Governor Branstad. And I want to thank all of you for joining us this morning. This is great leadership leading this initiative. And Governor Branstad and I will be showing our support for the Healthy Estate Initiative by walking at the Capitol Complex on Wednesday, October 8th at noon. We encourage everyone to come join us as we walk to make Iowa a healthier state. The walk around the Capitol Complex is just one of hundreds of walks that are happening throughout the state on Wednesday. In 2013, we had approximately 300,000 Iowans participate in the Healthy Estate Walk. And as the governor indicated, we want to make this year's walk the biggest one yet, with the goal of 500,000 Iowans registered and walking on Wednesday. It's important to know that in order for the walks to be counted, registration on the Healthiest State website is required. So if you're going to walk, be sure and go to the website and register. Many walks will be happening at noon, but people are encouraged to walk throughout the day. To sign up for one of the many organized walks around the state, please go to www.iowahealthieststate.com. Our ambitious goal of 500,000 walkers could not have been set without the support of many organizations throughout the state. I'm proud to say that the Iowa National Guard is mobilizing its troops to lead families and residents in a 1K walk at 52 armories across the state. The Department of Public Health and county health officials will be leading walks throughout Iowa. Many Hy-Vee and Fairway stores will be hosting walks again this year. Schools around the state are also gathering students to walk as part of the National Walk to School Day. And Delta Dental of Iowa is returning as a sponsor of the 2014 Healthy Estate Walk. So we really appreciate them again agreeing to sponsor this great initiative. And now I'd like to turn the podium over to Jeff Russell, who is the president and CEO of Delta Dental. Jeff?
Delta Dental of Iowa is proud to be the presenting sponsor for this year's Healthy Estate Walk. We believe the walk is a great way for Iowans to stay active and show their support for their continuing support for the Healthy Estate Initiative. When you combine physical activity and good dental health, we think Iowa can maintain momentum towards becoming the healthiest state in the nation. At Delta Dental, we recognize the importance of dental health and its connection to your overall well-being. We had a recent survey that found that Iowans who go to the dentist are 22% more likely to report their overall well-being as good or better when compared to those who don't visit the dentist. That's why we're proud to be a part of one of the Focus 5 priorities of the Healthiest State Initiative, getting more Iowans to the dentist annually. Over the last year, Delta Dental has been working with lots of other folks, dental insurance companies, dentists, public health officials, to get more Iowans to get your bib on, your dental bib, that is. Iowans rank 22nd in dental visits. About 2/3 of Iowans go to the dentist every year. That's not bad, but we can do better. A visit to the dentist not only helps protect your dental health, but it can be used to detect more than 120 different disease states throughout your entire body. Finally, there's a strong correlation between dental visits and this life evaluation score in the overall in the well-being index. Simply put, when we visit the dentist, we feel better. We feel we're taking better care of ourselves, and we feel better about our lives. So Delta Dental encourages everyone to get out and walk this week. We'll be out at our location out in Johnston, as well as throughout the state. So thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce the chair, Terry Rich.
Thank you very much. And those of you that are on the committee, if you want to come on up a little bit, just so you can identify some. We've got folks from all over the state of Iowa helping us out, obviously trying to be the healthiest state. And when Rick Juergens called me and said, hey, what's one thing we could do to help our kids and our grandkids across the state, my hand went up, and I think many others have. This is a volunteer effort. We urge every Iowan to make a commitment to a healthier lifestyle, and it's going to be pretty easy to be able to go out and walk on Wednesday. The governor, legislators, staff, universities, businesses, churches, some political candidates and their supporters. Heck, we've even called out the National Guard, all in an effort to get everyone active on this Wednesday. And the weather is going to be absolutely perfect. We believe we've probably already passed our goal of 500,000 folks who'll be walking Wednesday, but we'd love to have people register to kind of officially say that we did it. So if you will go to the website, we would really appreciate that, obviously, helping us out. So let's vote with our week. Have some fun. It's Wednesday. It's the big Healthiest State Initiative walk, and we'll all be out, and we'd love to see you too. And I wanted to make sure that you knew when the governor and lieutenant governor came out that they would have a little bright shirt so that you could identify where they're at. So, and these are under $2.99, I understand. So we thank you, and we're happy to answer any questions. I know Rick Juergens is here also, and
You want
the Department of Public Health.
Rick? Yeah, Rick, why don't you step up?
Well, thank you all for coming, and thanks to the governor and lieutenant governor for the support that they give the state of Iowa. And to these gentlemen, they symbolize the great leaders in Iowa. Every single CEO or senior officer of a company that I've talked to about getting involved in this has said yes. Many of them have said yes with their pocketbooks, like Delta Dental. And we're really excited about what's happening. There'll be a lot of news coming from the Healthiest State Initiative in the not too distant future about some new tools that we have available, assessment and certification tools. A lot of exciting things happening, but the big thing this week is register for the walk, and let's all get out there and do our part to change this great state and make it even better than it is. Thanks, Governor.
Thank you, Rick. Well, as you can see, this is building momentum, and we're very excited about the progress that's been made. We also know that going from 10th to 1st is a big, difficult challenge, but I think good leaders like we have in Iowa are not afraid to take on big challenges. Open it to your questions on this subject.
Governor, you used the term small step, and I'd like you to comment on that further. For a lot of people, and I suspect for you, 1K is not much of a workout.
Well, this morning I was at Des Moines University and did two miles, plus I worked out with the weights. So people that do exercise regularly, yeah, it's not a big thing. But for somebody that's just starting out that maybe hasn't exercised, it's a start. And we want to try to encourage people to do this. And in my case, I'll probably do 2 miles in the morning, and then I'll do this in addition to that. Just like I walked in the parade down at the Oktoberfest parade over the weekend on Saturday down in the Tum. So, and I, sometimes walk in several parades in addition to my normal exercise. So, that's just kind of the way it goes. But I just want to challenge and encourage others that maybe normally haven't done this to recognize walking is one of the very best exercises, and everybody can do it. Obviously, some people would have certain handicaps and whatever, but even that, see people in wheelchairs that are out there. And we've seen this on Ragbri as well, riding a bicycle. There's a lot of good things you can do.
Is the
It is one of our biggest challenges. It is one of our biggest challenges. And one of the real concerns is the increase in obesity among young people. And so this is one of the important challenges that we're facing. And if you look at a chart, I've seen in fact, I know we had our Healthiest State Initiative presentation to the National Governors Meeting. We showed over the last several decades how much obesity has increased state by state around this country. And it is pretty scary. So we're trying to reverse that longstanding trend by getting people more active, by getting people not only to exercise, but also looking at their choices in terms of what they eat, encouraging more fruits and vegetables, protein, maybe reduced amount of carbohydrates, things they can do. Got to get people to take ownership of their own health. Communities can make, more sidewalks and do things like that to have more exercise facilities available, but it takes the individual to take ownership of their own health. Other questions? Again, I want to thank the leadership of the Healthiest State Initiative and Delta Dental. Terry, thank you. Department of Public Health and National Guard and Hy-Vee and Fairway and everybody else that's providing leadership to schools. We'll respond to other questions you all might have.
Governor, what advice do you give to Republican candidates or something who would say, I've got a debate coming up, what do I have to focus on? And does your advice change from whether they're behind the polls or?
Well, first of all, I've debated in every campaign I've been involved in, and I think it's an important thing to do. So what I do is encourage people to be well prepared and honestly and directly share their views with the people of Iowa. I think it's a great opportunity to do that. I'm looking forward to our third debate that we're going to have up in Sioux City on the 14th. And I hope to be very well prepared. I feel good about the first two we had at the State Fairgrounds and the one in Burlington. And I know there's an important congressional debate at Simpson College tonight. And, I want to wish David Young the very best. I think he did very well in the first debate. But I think there's nothing like preparation. And then I think you just want to be honest and direct and forthright and share with the people of Iowa your vision and your goals.
Does your advice change whether or not?
No. The only poll that counts is the one they take on election day, and most of you who've been around a while have heard me say that more than once. We always focus on working hard right up. And the Lieutenant Governor and I have already been to all 99 counties, but we're not going to let up. We're going to continue traveling extensively. And in fact, we're going to be in Cedar Rapids tonight. My wife is even going to be with us today and tomorrow as we're going out in eastern Iowa. And we're going to continue to work hard right through Election Day. I think Iowans respect leaders that are humble and hardworking and that are accessible to the people. And we certainly try to do everything we can. And I encourage others that are running for office to do likewise.
Do you advise the Lieutenant Governor to debate Congress?
Well, the governor and lieutenant governor is elected as a team. We work together as a team. I don't really feel that's necessary. That's generally not been done since we've had the governor and lieutenant governor elected as a team. And I think 3 debates is an adequate number.
At the same time, they're in line to run the state in the event of any reason why the governor can't actively fulfill the duties. And it seems like the people of Iowa should have an opportunity to size up the number 2 person on the ticket. It's a team.
Exactly. And boy, with Kim Reynolds, they've really had that opportunity because she actively participates in all these press conferences. She travels all 99 counties. I've tried to be a mentor to her, and I'll turn it over and let her have some say in this too. But I guess with us, I think you see that we basically have the same philosophy and the same, in fact, I usually say when I introduce her, I've met my match in terms of energy, enthusiasm, and passion to serve. So with us, I think you can see there wouldn't be a big change.
Well, and as the governor indicated, we ran as a team and we serve as a team, but I also go to all 99 counties each and every year. And I've done that over the last 4 years, not only when we were running to ask Iowans to give us the opportunity to represent them at the state and get the state's fiscal house back on track, but I've done that for every year since. And Iowans have the opportunity at town halls, at business visits, when I'm talking to visiting school districts, to ask us any question that they want to ask. And that's one of the best things that we do to get out in the state, to meet with Iowans, to meet with individuals, and they can ask us anything. They can say what's working, what's not working. Here's some policy that we would like you to look at. But they made the decision, and we made the decision in 2010 to do 3 debates, and they made the decision with this election cycle to do 3 debates.
But you wouldn't like to get up on the stage with your opponent?
The decision has been made. I travel to all 99 counties. Iowans have the opportunity to ask me every day where I stand on issues. I'm proud of the record. I'm proud of what we've been able to do over the last 3.5 years. Our economy is growing. The state's fiscal house is in order. We are creating quality jobs at every single corner of the state. I am passionate about STEM and restoring our leadership position in education. We're seeing it every day when I'm in a classroom and I see young people engaged and excited about math and science and the opportunity that provides them going forward. So I think I actually have the opportunity to talk about what's going on in the state every single day. And I'm excited about it. I'm optimistic about Iowa's future. And I look forward to continuing to work on the great things that we've been working on over the last 3.5 years.
There's no reason you because.
And did you plan-
I have confidence she'd do great, but you know, we are a team, and we put together a strategy for this campaign. It's working well, but we're not going to let up. We want to lead the whole team to victory, not just the governor and lieutenant governor, but the other Republican candidates for state office, Joni Ernst, the congressional candidates, legislative candidates. And so we're working hard to try to help all of them as well as ourselves.
Lieutenant Governor, so did you put a goal in that decision? You said the decision has been made.
Yeah, we have sat down and talked about it. And I said the decision was made in 2010 and it was made with this election cycle also. I'm comfortable with it. And like I said, Iowans have the opportunity to ask me anything each and every day. I look forward to that. And I look forward to the opportunity to continue to serve Iowa as their lieutenant governor.
I would also say, you know, when we say it was made, you know, we sit down as a team with our campaign manager. And I just say, Jay Ketzner's done a phenomenal job. Every single goal that we've set in this campaign has been exceeded. Now, Jake's the campaign manager, and we actively meet with him on a regular basis. I probably talk to him every day. And
Multiple times.
yeah, asking him how much money has come in today. But other than that, we talk on a lot of important issues, and we work hard to be prepared. And so I feel good about the way things are going, but we're not going to let up, and we're going to continue to keep the focus on the future. We got a new ad coming out today. I've already seen it this morning on education. I think it's another one, very good, positive ad from a lot of Iowa students that see the benefit of the changes and the improvements that we're making.
Early voting is underway.
Yep.
How much?
We're catching up.
How much you think you're doing enough to catch up on that?
Well, the lieutenant governor and I are leading by example. I've already cast my absentee ballot. We both did a video encouraging others to vote by absentee ballot. And we're running well ahead of what we did in 2010. So the margin that the Democrats have had on early voting has been diminished. I'm hopeful as we get closer to election day, we can make even greater progress. So this was an area that we needed to do some work, and we encouraged the party, and we've gotten great help from the Republican Party to help us in that effort. But we're also trying to do our part and our campaign is doing its part to encourage early voting as well.
Was that the first time you voted absentee?
No, I have voted absentee before, but usually not when I was on the ballot.
Right.
In the presidential election, I think I voted absentee 2 years ago. Actually, I voted early in person at Polk County, but and I have voted absentee on other occasions as well. But we actually have promoted early voting, and I did a video encouraging others to do that, as well as voting that way myself this year.
And I do the same thing. Typically vote absentee or in the auditor's office, but this year, when my name is on the ballot, that's usually when I vote the day of the election, but was proud to go ahead and vote absentee.
Right. Well, but it's an opportunity for us to spend more time actually with voters, encouraging others to get out to vote. So the more people that we have voted early, that means that we have a smaller universe to work on election day, and hopefully we can be even more effective in getting other people out to vote. But I think we can forego the photo op on election day.
Governor, how do you assess David Young's race? So he's got about a month ago, he has the debate tonight. He's still not known to a lot of people, having not been in front of a campaign like this. What does he have to do in the final month?
Well, first of all, I think David has done a phenomenal job. He came out of nowhere to win the nomination, as you know, at the convention. And one of the reasons I think he did so well was he was very careful not to say anything negative about any of the other candidates. And so as others dropped out, they moved towards David. And also, Chuck Grassley spent, I think, several days last week campaigning with him. People have a great deal of respect for Chuck Grassley. He's been Chuck Grassley's chief of staff, and his relationship with Grassley and his similar philosophy and commitment to serve the people and go to every county in the district and listen to people and be responsive to their concerns. And I think that's a real contrast to his opponent, who was voted out of the Senate because of her liberal voting record and the fact that she, was there when Culver racked up all the debt and bad spending practices. So I think there's a good contrast, and that was pretty obvious in the first debate.
Governor, is it overkill to extend your ads into other months?
Well, let's put it this way. I think it makes sense for us to advertise in Quincy. In the past, we've never had the resources to do that, but we worked hard to raise an additional money this year so we could get that message across in Lee County. Lee County is the county that had the highest unemployment in the state when I was elected governor. We made dramatic improvements there. Not only have we been able to attract this Iowa fertilizer plant, which now employs, there's over 1,900 construction jobs there. There'll be over 240 permanent jobs. It's going to reduce the cost of nitrogen fertilizer for Iowa farmers by $740 million a year. We also, because of Mid-America Energy's decision, which was announced right here in this office, to build a $1.9 billion wind energy projects. And I, by the way, was the past chair of the Governor's Wind Energy Coalition and fought to get the federal tax extension. And it wouldn't have happened, and you heard it right from the Mid-America leadership, it wouldn't have happened if we hadn't got that extension approved. And all of those are now being made in Fort Madison by Siemens. We also, this past session of the legislature, worked with the community of Keokuk to help save their hospital, and through the Iowa Finance Authority provided some long-term financing for them to get that done. So I think we've done some pretty extraordinary things. We brought the unemployment rate down from 11% to 6.6%. It's about a 40% reduction in unemployment. We're not done. We're going to continue to do more. We're actually working with some other economic development prospects that we hope will choose Lee County. Last time I was down there, we got a chance to see what the Fort Madison School District was doing with converting an old school that would have cost $500,000 to tear down. Instead of, they're going to have 38 apartments there. They're putting solar panels on the roof. I went up on the roof and actually saw that. There's actually a company from Fairfield that's making the solar panels that are going on the roof. So there's a lot of exciting, positive things going on in Lee County. And, every year I try to have some, in addition to winning an election, I think you try to do some things that maybe might be different or historic. In 1982, it was carrying Dubuque County, which Abraham Lincoln didn't carry. So I thought that was a pretty neat thing for a Republican to carry that. And then last election, it was Wapello County. And I was just in Ottumwa over the weekend, and our goal is, of course, to carry Wapello County again, but this time it's Lee County that's on our list that would make it number 98 of the 99 counties that we've carried.
So is that extra election for Johnson?
I said that's like climbing Mount Everest, but we hope to do a lot better in Johnson than we've done in the past. The interesting story is that I became a Republican in Johnson County. I grew up in a Democratic family, but I read Conscience of a Conservative in high school, so I became a conservative, and I went down to the University of Iowa and joined the Young Democrats. Well, I found out I wasn't really too welcome there. So the next year, Julian Garrett, and by the way, said, you know, these Republicans aren't really as bad as maybe your folks told you. And he invited me to go to a college Republican meeting at the University of Iowa, 1966. I went with him, and the speaker was a young state representative named Chuck Grassley. And I became a Republican. And if you follow what happened in 66, I know where I was election night. I was at David L. Dahlman's residence, 929 Hudson Avenue in Iowa City. And that's the big Republican comeback after we got clobbered in 64. And we even elected Earl Yoder from Johnson County to the Iowa House of Representatives. So, yeah, I have an interest in Iowa history, I guess, and political history in particular.
No. I'm hoping
She's a little younger.
I'm hoping I can draw some of that through osmosis, that memory that he has. It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Well, I've lived it, you know, and I love this state, and it's an honor to serve the people of Iowa. And I've got to tell you, I'm having more fun I've ever had in this campaign. So we're looking forward here to the last 4 weeks. And there's, like I say, we're not done yet. There's more good things to come.
You expect Iowa to retaliate, or should they retaliate now that the court has ruled in the egg?
Well, it's a very disappointing decision. And we're going to look at what the best options are. But for one state to impose restrictions on products made in another state violates the very spirit of the United States Constitution. You know, when the states got together, they could see there were a problem under the Articles of Confederation because some states were putting restrictions on goods from other states. And so they finally decided, instead of trying to amend the Articles of Confederation, we need to replace it with something called the Constitution of the United States of America. By the way, it was ratified on the 17th of September, 1783. Why did they choose it? Because they wanted a country where one state was not putting a barrier on others and where the country could prosper because we had this market. Little did they realize, those are 13 states, that we'd eventually be 50 states and we'd have this wonderful market in the United States. And now we have the state of California unilaterally wanting to restrict eggs produced in other states. It doesn't follow the mandates that they put in place in their state. This is not right. It's not fair. And that's why we joined with Missouri and several other states in this lawsuit. One way or another, we need to find a way to prevent this from continuing to happen. It would be devastating to the United States of America if we were to join in other states and then retaliate, and we have our own trade war within the United States. It's bad enough trying to break down the barriers to trade with the European Union and with other parts of the world. We don't want a trade war in America, but we think California is dead wrong on this. And I think I haven't practiced law for a long time, but I can tell you basic constitutional law says the Interstate Commerce Clause of the United States Constitution is there for the purpose of preventing barriers against trade from other states. That is pretty basic. And eventually, this thing can't stand. Well, I don't know. I think we're gonna examine all the different options and alternatives on what to best do. But I think it is so blatant and so obviously unconstitutional that eventually it's not going to stand. It can't stand. It goes against the very tenets of the Constitution of the United States provision about interstate commerce. And that's been basic from the beginning of our republic.
Governor, I had a quick question. Given the financial success of your campaign with that and kind of the state of your race, what are you going to be doing for other Republicans?
We are doing everything we can to lead the team to victory. And I think the stronger and the better we do and the more we can turn out our base vote, I think it benefits all of the candidates. But I'm also doing a lot of joint appearances. The Lieutenant Governor just spent quite a bit of time with Joni Ernst over the weekend. I was in Cedar Rapids recently, and actually I got a call from my friend Chris Christie, and he said, "What more can I do?" And I said, "Well, we could win this race up there in Northeast Iowa. It's the most Democratic congressional district in Iowa. We got a great candidate, Rod Blum." He said, I'll come. And we had that rally in Cedar Rapids last Friday, and probably haven't seen the last of that. I mean, Rick Perry did a great job. You can tell them about the.
We had over 400 people in Sheldon on Friday night. With 4 counties came together to do an event. Great lineup, all the candidates there, and we're seeing that everywhere we go. We're really seeing great turnout, great energy, great momentum. So anything that we can do. I was with David Young down in Council Bluffs on Thursday night. So the governor and I are kind of crisscrossing the state, working with candidates and really trying to energize Iowans to get out and vote and make a difference. This is a really important election. This is the precursor to 16, and we have an opportunity to not only take back the state Senate, but it is imperative that we take back the United States Senate, and we've got the candidate that can do that.
I was in Saturday, by the way, in Ottumwa with Marinette Miller Meeks and with Senator Shelgren. That's an important race. Mark Shelgren was telling me we can't do that. We can't do that. But we're trying to do everything we can to assist. And frankly, if you looked at the financial disclosures, Joni's done a phenomenal job in the last quarter. In the state Senate, again, we cannot directly but we are doing events for the candidates, and we're going to continue to work with them, joint appearances and fundraising events for them, encouraging people that have supported us to contribute and support our candidates. I have said time and time again, this is the best slate of candidates that we have actually had in modern history. And I want to lead the whole team to victory. I want to run the best campaign we've ever run. I want to finish extremely strong. I don't want to take anything for granted, and we're going to go everywhere and do everything we can. Like I said, we've been to all 99 counties, and now we're going to continue to focus on places where we can be helpful.
You've come out with a connective maker, workforce development, education ideas. Are you going to offer anything on tax policy, any kind of tax?
Well, we haven't made a decision on that yet. I would say that I think if you look at my history and record, you've seen that I'm consistently for reducing the tax burden, especially those things that are impediment to job creation. What we have passed and what we're in the process of implementing on property tax reductions is making a difference. I'm getting great feedback all over the state from businesses of all sizes expressing their appreciation. For 30 years it was talked about and nothing was done. Finally, in 2013, we passed it. And the impact, I put out a press release. Your paper has written about it as well. And you have written about it. Actually, you wrote a really great article about the property tax reductions statewide and the impact it's having in Lynn County and across the state. So yes, we're going to continue. And that's why we have the 5-year projections, is so that we know we have the resources, because the property tax reduction next year will be another $127 million replacement of property taxes, with state dollars going to the counties to be distributed to local governments. And we want to continue in this path of making Iowa more competitive, reducing the tax burden as we have on the regulatory side as well.
What with those projections, can you afford any more tax relief until this property tax?
Well, the point I want to make is the reason why I, exercise the vetoes at the end of the session was to protect the commitments we've made to both property tax relief and to our teacher leadership program. Those are big commitments. Those are multi-year commitments. We have the resources to sustain that, provided we continue to control the costs of government and the size of government. We intend to fulfill those. Those are top priority. And then we'll look beyond that, other things that we might be able to do.
You said you haven't made a decision yet, and you're less than a month out from the election. I mean, how?
Well, I have to base the budget based on the December revenue estimate. So frankly, because of what's happened to farm income, we're cautious. We're cautious. We have seen what the EPA has done to farm income. You know, corn, instead of being the oil companies love to talk about the price of corn drove up the price of food. Baloney. We in Iowa know better. We know that what's happened when we had corn prices during the drought of 2012 at $8 a bushel. Now they're down to $2.50 a bushel. The price of food has gone up, not down. So that was a total false impression that was given to people, and we're combating that. Then we have the situation of the EPA reducing the renewable fuel standard. The impact of that has been negative on corn prices, and obviously that is, since we're the leading corn producing state, has hurt us. It's even had an impact on land values. We've seen some loss in farm machinery manufacturing jobs. So I think we've got to be careful and cautious about what's happened there. And I've been very vociferous about advocating for restoring the full robust renewable fuel standard and doing it as quickly as possible. We were promised it would happen by June. Here we are well into October. We still don't have a decision. And when I was told it's been pushed from the EPA to OMB, I called the director of OMB. I specifically asked him, will we get an answer in days, weeks, or months? He said, well, this is a complicated issue. And priority in, but I didn't get an answer as to when the decision would be made. I'm not very optimistic based on what Washington DC has done to us, that we're likely to get a favorable decision in the short term.
Final question,
Governor,
Jerry?
could you comment just a little bit more about what you're doing as far as appearing on behalf of candidates to the state senate and how important the Republican state senate is?
Well, it is important, and I try to help the entire ticket. And so I'm going to be working for, I was just with Brian Moore up in Jackson County, had a great event up there. I was with Lee Hine previously. These are House candidates. Now, Senate candidates, yes. I was just with Shelgren on Saturday. I will be at events for the other Senate candidates as well, all across the state between now and Election Day. And we're very hopeful, but we don't take anything for granted. We respect Iowa voters are very independent. They make their own decisions. But I think for the future of our state, to continue our momentum in terms of reducing taxes, investing in quality education, and making Iowa the healthiest state, we need a Senate that will work with us, not against us. Another area of interest, I think, has got to be open, transparent government. We want to open up these personnel records. We have Senate Democrats that want to attack us, but they don't want to share with the people of Iowa the information that's in those personnel records. And we think that, I trust the people of Iowa. I trust, given the facts, they'll make good decisions. And the House of Representatives, on a bipartisan vote, passed a bill to eliminate this exception to the open records law for personnel records. I thought it was interesting that the Des Moines Register held a forum on this, and Arthur Bonfield, who wrote the administrative code, also believes this is something that would be an improvement and good public policy for the state of Iowa. So I think Senate Democrats are out of touch with the people of Iowa on this. They need to quit playing politics and work with us and work with the House to open up these personnel records.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Jared? That's all right.